Good afternoon dear students. I welcome you all back to the class. Now let's move on to good laboratory practices in unit 3. In that we will be discussing part 1 of it. The content of today's discussion is general provisions of GLP. General provisions of GLP. When and where GLP was created? In 1972, in Denmark and New Zealand, it was introduced first. And in 1978, in US, in response to the industrial biotest lab scandal, it was introduced in the field. Why GLP was created? In the early 70s, FDA, that is Food Drug Administration, became aware of cases of poor laboratory practices all over the United States. So they discovered a lot fraudulent activities and a lot of poor lab practices. Examples of some these poor lab practices found were equipments were not calibrated to standard form, therefore giving wrong measurements. Second one, incorrect or inaccurate accounts of the actual lab study and inadequate test systems. To overcome this, good laboratory practices were created. Coming to the role of GLP in drug discovery and development process. So what are all the process we will follow in a laboratory? In drug discovery, firstly, therapeutic concept is designed, then target selection is made, then target validation, then lead finding, lead optimization, so that it is discovered. And next is development of drug. For that, preclinical development, clinical development, regulatory approval, and finally registration and gets product to the market. So these are all the processes are carried out in a laboratory, so that we need to follow good laboratory practices. Actually, what is good laboratory practice? According to US FDA, GLP is a formal regulation created by US FDA, as these regulations were proposed on November 19, 1976 and designated as a new part of Chapter 21 of the Code of Federal Regulation, that is CFR, as 21 CFR Part 58 in 1979. As per OECD guidelines, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, in 1981 produced GLP principles that are international standards. According to OECD principles, GLP is defined as a quality system concerned with the organizational process and the conditions under which non-clinical health and environmental safety studies are planned, performed, monitored, recorded, archived, and reported. Let's see what are the advantages of good laboratory practices. While following GLP, we can get the benefit of getting true reflection of results and preclinical safety, generation of high quality and reliable test data, mutual acceptance of data. It increases public confidence and shortens the time to market for new products. What are the disadvantages of GLP? It requires high manpower and expensive and also time consuming. These are the three main disadvantages of good laboratory practices. Let's see the objectives of GLP. What are the three main objectives of good laboratory practices? GLP makes sure that the data submitted are true reflection of the results obtained from the studies. GLP makes sure that the data is traceable, and it promotes international acceptance of tests. What are the 10 principles of GLP? There are 10 main principles involved in good laboratory practices. What are those? Apparatus, materials and reagents, test systems, test and reference substances, standard operating procedures, facilities, performance of study, reporting of study results. Then storage and retention of records and materials, testing facility, organization and personnel. Last one, quality assurance program. These are the 10 principles of GLP. Let's move on to how to practice GLP. What are the different aspects of GLP? There are 8 aspects to practice. First one, general provisions, then organization and personnel, then facilities, then equipment. General provisions, organization and personnel, facilities and equipment. Then testing facilities operation, test and control articles, protocol for conduct of the study. Lastly, records and reports. Testing facility operation, test and control articles, protocol for the conduct of study, then records and reports. Let's move on to the general provisions of GLP. GLP prescribes for conducting non-clinical laboratory studies that support research and marketing permits of products regulated by FDA. GLP prescribes conducting non-clinical laboratory studies that support research and marketing permits of products regulated by FDA. Second one, applicability to studies performed under grants and contracts. Applicability to studies performed under grants and contracts. Then third one, inspection of the testing facility. Inspection of the testing facility. These are the general provisions of GLP. Thank you all for patient listening. In the next class, we will be seeing about part 2 of good laboratory practices. Thank you so much.